Hi everyone, this is Mr. Z and welcome to this AutoCAD 2018 tutorial on designing an intermediate level isometric. This one's more on the tricky side and I'm going to go ahead and put it on your screen right now. Feel free to take a screenshot of it and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So, with this isometric, just because of the complexity of it, what I'd recommend doing at first is making it all out and then cutting out the individual parts of it. So if we think about this in its most simple form, we're thinking about a block with a length of 108 and then a width of 64 and a height of, it looks like 56. So let's go ahead and make that. Switch it from your top over to a southwest isometric. Make sure your ortho mode is on. Make sure your snap mode is on, and then we're going to start drawing some lines. So go ahead, line, enter, and the first line we draw out is going to be fairly large, so make sure you have enough space. But it's going to be 108, enter, okay? I'm going to press escape once so I can zoom out enough, and then enter again to reactivate the line tool. Then I'm going to go up a total of 64, and then across another 108. And then I'm going to connect this all together. Okay, I'm going to use the join tool to join all these into one, and then the extrude tool, EXT, enter, to click on that, enter, and draw this out a total of 56 units. Okay, so we've drawn out our box. Now we just need to draw out the things that got to get cut out of the box. So that ramp on the bottom over here, we're going to use the line tool, enter, and starting at that corner, I'm going to go across. It looks like 20 units, enter. Then I'm going to go up a total of 24 units, enter. And then I'm going to go across here, but I'm not going to go all the way to the end. And before I do that, I'm going to go first a total of what appears to be 6, enter. And then I'm going to go the rest of the way. So I'm going to click there, press escape twice. And the reason I did that is because I'm trying to create the ramp as well. So if I use the line tool, now at that point where I measured out 6 before, I can go ahead and connect that in and create that ramp. So the ramp over in this area there. And let's cut it out. So I'm going to draw one last line from there to there. Okay, then use the join command to join these three portions together. And then I'm going to extrude it, EXT, enter, that, enter, just across like that, doesn't really matter. Okay, enter, escape twice, and use the subtract command, SUB, enter, select the large one, enter, then the small one, enter. If you did it correctly, it should have cut out the entire section with a ramp, which is totally fine with what we're going for. Then what we're going to have to do is redraw that line that we just cut out. So line, enter, I'm going to redraw that line that we just cut out, escape twice, and just make sure I have all 4 lines, which I do. So I'm going to join these together, enter, that line, that line, that line, and that line, enter. They've been joined. And before I cut it out, I'm going to use the copy tool to copy this, enter, from that end over to this end. And that's just because we have to cut both sides out, so might as well just do it once and get it over with. Okay, extrude. This one is going to be extruded 20 units. Okay, and then I'll just rotate to this one as well. And this one has to be extruded 20 units as well. Okay, like so. Then I'll use the subtract command again. The big one, enter, the small ones. Let's see if I can do both of those simultaneously. Looks like I can, so both of those have been cut out. Next we have to make the top cut up here. And we are going to need to put a circle in there. And what we know about the circle is it has a diameter of 40, as well as it's 12 from the side here, but don't let that mislead you from the true side, which is actually the difference between this 88 and 108. So that's 20 plus 12, so we actually need to be 32 from this edge over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to use a line, enter, and I'm going to start from the center, draw that out till I see the triangle. So that's the midpoint. Then I'm going to go up a total of 32, enter. So that's where the circle's center is. Then I'm going to draw a circle, enter, at there. And this is going to have a radius of 20. So I'm going to type in 20, enter. Then I'm going to draw some extra lines in, so L for line, and look for the center point for the top part of this circle, which will be right here. Click on that and just go vertically up like so, and then across like so, so that's connected. Escape, enter. I'm going to do the same now for this quadrant. I'm going to go over to the side over here, and I'm just going to adjust my view so I can see it a little more clearly. Connect it to there, and then connect it there to the center point. Okay, so everything should be connected. I'm going to use the trim tool to remove any excess lines. I'll select the entire thing. I need to cut this line off. Okay, so you're left with that portion as well as that, and I could just select and delete this part. Okay, so I have all the lines I need. Now I'm going to join them together. Join, enter, and select these objects here. Enter. So now they've all been joined into one polyline, and now EXT for extrude, enter, click on that, enter, and we're going to go down a total of 32 units, enter, like so, and then we're going to cut it out. So we're going to use the subtract tool, enter, select the big one, enter, select the small one, enter, and if you did it correctly, it should have subtracted it from the top. So that's looking great. Now last we need to work on the back side here. And at first glance from the sketch, you might feel like they don't give you enough information, but they actually do. They tell you the radius is 44, and you know the outskirt is 12 away from the bottom, 20 away from the top. So the center of this circle with radius 44 is up 56, and to the side 64. So let's go ahead and make that. From this edge over here, I'm going to draw a line, enter, and I'm just going to go out this direction. A total of 64 units. So I'm going to type 64, enter, and then that is actually right on the edge there. Then going up, I'm going to go up a total of 56 units, enter. So that's actually right at the corner there. And now that I know that's at the corner, I'm actually just going to delete these two lines, and I'm just going to draw out a circle. So CIR, enter. Go to the, you want this surface to be lit up. And then I'm going to click on the edge, and I'm going to draw this out. So it's going to have a radius of 44. I'm going to press that, press enter, and that's the circle that we're going to need. We're going to go ahead and extrude this out, EXT, enter, that one, enter, a total of 44 units, like so. And then we're going to use the subtract tool, SUB, enter, from the big, enter, to the small, enter, like that. Okay, so I'm going to revolve it back towards you. And that's the object. This is a shaded view of the object, and that is going to conclude this tutorial. Whoops. So hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully this is getting easier to do. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, this is Mr. Z, signing out. Peace.